Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm checking in from beautiful Turkey. I'm out here for a week with a couple friends of mine. Hope you guys are gonna enjoy the beautiful scenery behind me. I definitely have been loving this place so far. But anyways, the topic of this video is the 3 biggest mistakes that I made when first starting my creative agency, and these mistakes have costed me over 100 grand easily, and these have been, avoided if I have only known what I know now. So hope you guys are gonna get some value out of this video. Hope you guys are gonna, be able to take something from it. So let's get straight into it. So mistake number 1 that I made when I was just starting out with my creative agency is charging too little. So what I mean by that is when you're just a freelancer, right, or working for someone, maybe you have an hourly rate or something like that, and that can be sustainable. But here's the thing: when you're starting a creative agency and you want to work with team members, you want to outsource things, right, and you don't want to be doing all the work yourself, you need to have margin to be able to hire excellent people to deliver an excellent service. So what I mean by too little is basically if you're not charging, thousands a month for a service, obviously you need to, figure out like what are the deliverables that you're delivering, and you need to raise or lower your prices based on that so you still have margin. But the problem with not charging high ticket prices in a service business is that number 1, you won't be able to afford good quality talent, right? If you don't have enough margin to hire great people and still have profit left for yourself, then you will have to work with people who are rookies, who are not able to, show up on time, deliver good quality work, and just overall you won't have as great of an experience, in my opinion, running your agency if you're not working with people who you love and also people who are great at what they are doing. So that is mistake number 1, or like the problem that is with mistake number 1. The second mistake with charging low ticket prices is that you cannot really scale, not only because you don't have enough margin if you hire good people, but also you won't really have margin for either advertising or hiring a team to do outbound for you so you can get more sales calls. And eventually, if you want to hire out the sales part of your business as well, when you are getting a lot of appointments, like, you will need to give up margin there as well. So you're giving up margin for people who are delivering the service, you're giving up margin for people who are getting you sales appointments so you can focus on other parts of the business. You're giving up margin, if you eventually hire like a manager. So these are all things you need to think about beforehand when it comes to pricing your service, because if you don't, then you're gonna be left with basically nothing at the end of the day when you would try to scale a business. Of course, this is just what worked for me. I'm not saying that you need to do this, but in my opinion, if you want to have a good time scaling up a business and getting to 10, 20, 30k months, then you should, in my opinion, charge high ticket prices, because it will make your job a lot easier. Also, another problem that I faced with charging low ticket prices is that you attract low quality customers or clients who are really nitpicky, clients who don't really value their time and energy either, and they are going to want to change, all sort of tiny things that don't really matter. Whereas when you are working with high ticket clients, they are paying you extra for a reason, right? They don't want to be involved in the day-to-day small operations. They want to let this thing off their hand and get it done properly. So if you have clients who pay you extra, usually they are actually going to be a lot easier to deal with than people who are paying low ticket prices. Mistake number 2 that I have made is basically not focusing enough on outreach volume. Okay, so when you're starting out, when you're under a 6-figure a year run rate, you're basically not going to be able to survive and also get new clients without doing a lot of outreach, direct outreach. This is the main thing that helps most people to grow their business. Of course, you can always get referrals and grow that way as well, so that's a reason why you should also focus on delivering a great service. But when you're just starting out, when you're in the beginning, in my opinion, the quickest way to get from 0 to 100 is to basically do a lot of direct outreach, and whatever your platform is, whether it's email, whether it's Instagram, you want to focus on it. Because I see a lot of people, and I did this myself as well, doing maybe 5 outreach a day, 10 outreach a day, and they're wondering like, why am I not getting any sales calls? Why am I not moving forward? And it is because you need to do more than that, okay? You need to do 50 outreach a day, you need to do 100 outreach a day in order to be able to actually see like what's working and what's not. Because if you're testing out, for example, different email outreaches, right, like your different headlines, different bodies, like you will not really be able to tell what's working and what not with 100 emails. You will be able to tell it by 500, and looking at the data, and you want to track your outreach, right? You want to have Google Sheets or whatever you're using to track how many messages you send, how many got open, how many got replies, how many sales calls you booked from them, what were those sales calls like, right? How many did you close? And once you do that, once you track it, once you have a lot of data, then you are actually able to pinpoint like, okay, this outreach angle worked a lot better than this one, so I'm gonna do more of this, and just go with that, right? So not focusing enough on outreach is a mistake that I made, and don't get me wrong, it's not easy at all to do a lot of volume, and that's part of the reason why Greg and I, who's my business partner in Clients for Creatives, we recommend people to hire a VA to help them do outreach and do a lot of it as soon as possible, basically. Because if you can hire someone for $5-10 an hour who can send out, you know, 50 messages a day, for example, to your ideal clients, and also help you find more customers, then you're going to be able to focus on closing deals, delivering a great service, so you grow your reputation and get more, you know, referrals, and also you keep your clients longer, so that way you are not really stuck in the trenches of trying to get sales calls every day as much. So that is mistake number 2 that I've made, which is not focusing enough on outreach volume, and instead of that, spending time on things that don't really matter, like building a very pretty website, or you know, watching YouTube videos that aren't really, you know, focused on what I'm trying to get forward with, and learning 100 different outreach methods, whatever. Like, you want to pick one channel, in my opinion, in the beginning, or that's at least what worked for me. Learn more about it and do volume, and then, you know, take feedback from that action that you take, and then learn from it, improve, and then just keep going. Oh, by the way, I'm sweating, guys, so sorry about that. It's actually really hot out here. I think it's like 35 degrees Celsius. So sorry about that. But anyways, let's go on to the third mistake that I have made while scaling my agency. Mistake number 3 was basically offering too many things to too many people. So when I started out, I was kind of like a video editing / social media generalist agency, and to be honest, it is not really the fastest way to grow in my experience, because if instead of doing that, you just choose one service that you want to provide to one specific group of people, so a niche, and you solve their problem a lot better than everybody else does, then it's gonna be a lot easier to convince people to actually sign up with your service, because they can see that you thought about literally all of their different needs, right? I like to take this 360-degree approach to solving certain demographics, you know, problems and issues, because that way it becomes a lot easier to convince people, right? Because if they can see that, you know, you thought about what are all the different obstacles that they would face, then they will have a lot more trust in you. Because at the end of the day, one of the main things, in my opinion, that makes people buy something is that they feel understood, right? Like, you wouldn't buy something if you don't feel like that person who's selling it to you actually knows what you need. So for that reason, I like to pick just one service, one niche, think about all the different problems that person might face, and try to make it as easy for them as possible to get the results that they desire from your service. So if I give you an example for that, for example, if you're selling YouTube growth to fitness personal trainers, right? That's one example. They want to grow their social media presence, get more customers from their organic YouTube stuff, right? You want to think about all the things that are stopping them from getting that result. So it might be coming up with relevant video ideas that would get them views. It might be creating thumbnails for it. It might be the editing. It might be 100 different things, right? It might be not knowing how to do SEO. It might be time management, right? For all these things that you can come up with that they might face, you want to kind of like think with their head, or think through their day, like what's filling up their calendar, what are the things that are stopping them from actually making progress with their YouTube channel, and you want to try to come up with solutions for all those different things and provide them in your service and give them like a complete package. You want to give them like a full offer, not just one part of the puzzle. And this is what can allow you to charge those high ticket prices that I talked about in problem number 1, because if you can provide a service that nobody is really matching on the marketplace, then you don't really have to match other people's prices. Now, obviously, your pricing still needs to be on the ground of reality. Like, most people are not gonna pay you, 100 grand a month, for example, to grow their YouTube if they are not even making that. But if you can provide something that they cannot really find elsewhere on the market, and that gives them a lot of extra value in terms of buying them back a lot of time, making them more money, and buying them back a lot of headspace and energy and peace, then they are a lot more likely to pay you those higher ticket prices, right? I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found some value from it. If you did, please consider subscribing and dropping a like on the video, and I'm really looking forward to your feedback from it. Do you want me to cover any specific part of these things in more detail, and maybe like a presentation or anything like that? I'm here to give value on this channel, and I want to help you guys with your agencies and transition from being video editor freelancers or cinematographers into agency owners, if that's something you want to do and have more, kind of like freedom, so you can whatever go to Turkey for a week and work from there, or have fun, have more location and financial freedom. So if you guys want to see anything specific, let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you guys later. Take care.